Murphy's Comedy Club, episode 192. I am Rod Murphy, and this is Growing Up Poor in Irish Boston, a series of my 1950s era Irish and Boston history, songs, poems, jokes, and stories. Today we got jokes, and they're Paddy Murphy jokes mostly. Paddy Murphy always orders 3 pints of Smithwick's at O'Leary's pub in Mallow County, Cork, Ireland. The publican, O'Leary, finally asks him why he orders 3 pints at once. Murphy says, "It's a family thing. I have 2 brothers. Malachi is a Boston cop, and Mike works construction in London. We don't see each other very often, so we made a pact that whenever one of us goes to a pub, we would order 3 Smithwick's, 1 for each of us, and then that brother would toast the missing brothers." So one day Paddy goes to O'Leary's and orders only 2 Smithwick's. O'Leary assumes one of Paddy's brothers has died. He commiserates with Murphy and asks whether it was Mike or Malachi that passed on. Murphy says, "Oh, no, O'Leary. It's just that last Sunday I finally took the pledge I'm giving up drinking." And now, at dawn, the telephone rings. "Hello, Senor Murphy? This is Ernesto, the caretaker at your Palm Beach house." "Ah, yes, Ernesto. What can I do for you? Is there a problem?" I'm just calling to advise you, sir, that your parrot died." "My parrot? Dead? The one that won the international competition or the other one? The champion, sir." "Damn, that's a pity. I spent a small fortune on that bird. What did he die from?" "From eating rotten meat." "Rotten meat? Who the hell fed him rotten meat?" "Nobody, senor. He ate the meat of one of the dead horses." "Dead horse? What dead horse? The thoroughbred, Mr. Lucky? He died from all that work pulling the water cart? Are you insane?" "What water cart?" "The one he used to put out the fire." "Good Lord, what fire are you talking about, man?" "The one at your house. A candle fell and the curtains caught on fire." "What the hell? But there's electricity at the house. What was the candle for?" "For the funeral." "What damn funeral?" "Your mother-in-law's. She showed up one night out of the blue and I thought she was a thief, so I hit her with one of your new golf clubs." There was a long silence. "Ernesto, if you broke that golf club, you're fired." And another Paddy Murphy joke. Paddy Murphy's brother-in-law, attorney Sean Callahan, dies in a car accident on his 40th birthday and finds himself at the pearly gates. A brass band is playing. The angels are singing a beautiful hymn. There's a huge crowd cheering and shouting his name, and absolutely everyone wants to shake his hand. Just when he thinks things can't possibly get any better, St. Peter himself runs over, apologizes for not greeting him personally at the pearly gates, shakes his hand and says, "Congratulations, son, we've been waiting a long time for you." Totally confused and a little embarrassed, Attorney Callahan sheepishly looks at St. Peter and says, "St. Peter, I try to live a God-fearing life. I try to obey the 10 Commandments, but congratulations for what? I honestly don't remember doing anything really special when I was alive." "Congratulations for what?" says St. Peter, totally amazed. We're celebrating the fact that you've lived longer than any other person ever come to heaven. 153 years. God himself wants to see you." The lawyer is awestruck and can only look at St. Peter with his mouth wide open. When he regains his power of speech, he looks up at St. Peter and says, "St. Peter, I always lived that when I died I would be judged by God and found to be worthy, but I was only 40 years old." "Well, that's not true, son. Our auditors have added up all your billable hours. You are really 153 years old. Paddy Murphy's cousin, 70-year-old Declan O'Shaughnessy, drove his brand new Corvette convertible out of the dealership. Flying down the road, he floored it to 80 miles per hour, enjoying the wind blowing through what little gray hair he had left. Amazing car, he thought, as he flew down the Mass Pike, pushing the pedal even more. Looking into his rear-view mirror, O'Shaughnessy saw a state trooper behind him, lights flashing and siren blaring. He floored it to 100 miles an hour, then 110, then 120. Suddenly he thought, what am I doing? I'm too old for this stuff. And he pulled over to await the trooper's arrival. Pulling in behind him, the trooper walked up to the Corvette, looked at his watch and said, "Sir, my shift ends in 15 minutes. Today is Friday. If you can give me a good reason for speeding that I've never heard before, I'll let you go." Declan paused. Then he said, "Well, 15 years ago, my wife ran off with a state trooper. I thought you were bringing her back." The trooper says, "Have a good day, sir." Okay, pardon this break. I hope you are enjoying my Growing Up Poor in Irish Boston podcast. If you like this episode, please subscribe. It's free and helps me to get my messages to more folks. And now back to the Murphy's Comedy Club. A man walks into a bar with a box under his arm and says to the barman, "If I could show you something you've never seen before, will you give me a free drink?" Now the barman has seen mostly everything in his time and says, "Sure, impress me, and I'll give you free tab for the evening." So the man puts down the box, opens it up, and then he pulls out a small piano and places it on the bar, and then a little man as well. The little man walks up to the piano and starts playing. The barman was blown away by this and agrees to the drinks and then asks, "Where did you find him?" "Well," says the man, "I found this magic lamp." The man digs into the box and pulls out this old brass oil lamp. "I rubbed it and a genie appeared and granted me one wish. And then he said I must pass the lamp on to the next person that did me a kindness." "Wow," says the barman. And the man says, "As you gave me a drink, I'm going to let you have the lamp. Be careful what you wish for, though." So the barman rubs the lamp and then makes his wish. Next thing, the bar has ducks everywhere, clucking loudly, crapping on the bar, on the floor, all over the customers. The barman shouts at the man, saying, "I wish for $1 million, not 1,000,000 ducks." To this, the man replies, "And you think I wish for a 10-inch pianist?" And God was fed up. In a crash of thunder, he yanked up to heaven 3 influential humans: Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, and Bill Gates. "The human race is a complete disappointment," God boomed. "You each have 1 week to prepare your followers for the end of the world." With another crash of thunder, they found themselves back on Earth. Trump immediately called his cabinet. "I have good news and bad news," he announced grimly. "The good news is that there is a God. The bad news is God's really pissed and plans to end the world in a week." Putin in Russia announced to the Duma, "Comrades, I have bad news and worse news. The bad news is that we were wrong. There is a God after all. The worst news is God's really mad and is going to end the world in a week." Meanwhile, Bill Gates called a meeting of his top engineers. "I have good news and better news. The good news is that God considers me one of the 3 most influential men on earth." He beamed. "The better news is we don't have to fix Windows 10. And now for my favorite quick joke. An unusually attractive and sexy but mature woman waiting for her prescription at the window of a pharmacist is told by the attending druggist the following: "The old guy at the back of the line would like to buy you a round of Geritol." Signed, sealed, and delivered.